Alrighty, welcome everyone. Yeah, I was supposed to actually work tonight, but unfortunately, a few people couldn't make it, so I actually was called in early. So I have tonight to stream, and I'm going to stream about something I just really haven't streamed about before. I don't think, at least to the best of my knowledge. I don't remember. Maybe I have. I'm sure Troll will go through 2,000 some odd videos I have and go, "Oh look, Steve did stream about this." Yeah, whatever. But I really don't recall that much talking about Todd Chrisley and his wife Julie and the situation with their legal stuff. Now, I mean, I'm sure tangentially we've mentioned it before and things of that nature, but I haven't really had a stream that I recall, at least, directly talking about them. If I have, oh well, then I'm gonna do another one. Again, I'm getting old, memories fading, whatever. But one of the reasons I'm doing this is I watched a video by an actual lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't play a lawyer on TV. I don't even pretend to be a lawyer. I wouldn't want to be a lawyer. But it was from Harvard Law Lee, called Bombshell Motion. Chrisley says IRS lied to get them convicted. It was good, and it was really good, and it's consistent with pretty much everything that I have read. Because I mean, I read the filings, and from people talking to people and things of that nature, and to be consistent, exactly what I know too. It is convoluted. It is very complex. I think. I mean, not as probably as complex as some like major business stuff. But I mean, as far as like the intricacies going on, the legal stuff, why they're probably will get it. I think they will get a new trial. And the history with the whole filings is pretty significant. It's a lot to really talk about when it comes to it. And it's something that, again, I follow, but I am just not that familiar with all of it. So don't take anything I say with this stream, to heart. It is all just, basically a grain of salt. If you want to join, the link to join the stream chat or the StreamYards is in the top. Feel free to come on in, give your evaluations. Let me know what you know about the court cases and your opinion on it as well. So basically, long story short, way back when there was a trial for Todd and Julie Chrisley, it was basically on the thing for wire. It was called wire fraud, meaning some fraud was done over internet or some kind of it used to be telephone telephony, things of that nature, but some kind of a fraud was being done over with several banks that supposedly he had multiple loans, things of that nature, and he was able to borrow up to $30 million, but not pay it back. Now, part of that trial had to do with a lot of things with his paying back of taxes and things of that nature. In the trial, from what I understand, there's a couple points that was brought up by Harvard Lee that may be significant enough to say, okay, let's set aside this and have a retrial. And what it was this. First, I do think that the prosecution didn't turn everything over to the defendant's lawyers. Okay, that's called the Brady rule. If there's some exculpatory evidence, there's something that needs to be turned over. I mean, everything that they should share. And so they didn't turn everything over. There might be, from what I understand, 2 violations of the Brady rule. However, Harvard Lee didn't talk about those particular violations. What she talked about was the fact that the officer, the IRS officer that testified in the case, according to the Chrisleys, had lied. By the way, make sure you guys can hear me out there. I didn't do an audio check. I apologize. I usually do. And the chat's been really quiet. So let me make sure that you can actually hear me. That'd be kind of cool. Thank you. And so the IRS officer that testified, seemed to have some misinformation. They're accusing her of lying, whether it's hyperbolic or not. I have no idea. I mean, it's hard to tell whether, she was lying or she had an honest mistake. And there does seem to be a mistake. There seems to be a bad mistake from the IRS. And what that mistake is for the filings that they had, and for, I think it was 2014, 2015, 2016, if I'm mistaken, they were asking the officer, what about the returns? My client, the lawyers basically saying, my clients have paid this. Right. And granted, it was many years later. I think it was like 6 years later. And I'm going to grant that. It was untimely. But as I understand, they were paid. The taxes were paid. There was initially balance, I think, of like $77,000. Again, don't quote me on the numbers. I can make this stuff up, but it wouldn't matter to you. Some high number, right? But I think it was like $77,000 or something. And they were asking the IRS agent, what about the fact that my clients have this, returns, and they paid all these off, and the officer's basically just saying no. There's nothing on this. It is still outstanding dues. The balance is outstanding. They owe this money, and they're like, no, they have paid it. And come to find out, they did pay it. Matter of fact, when they asked about like the outstanding balance or something like that, I think there was like $3,000 left. They said even later on, but that was probably due to taxes on the unpaid balance for the $77,000, which was paid. And so, if that is the case, if they were saying, "Hey, look, my clients did pay for this," and the jury's sitting there going, "Huh, man, look at these guys, man, look at these bozos. They didn't pay any taxes on that money, and here's the IRS officer saying it's still due." That could unfairly sway the jury. And again, this is how I'm reading into this. This is, again, I'm not a lawyer. If you want real legal advice, go check out, Emily Baker or Potentially Criminal, who I really like that guy. That guy is fun. So I'm not trying to pretend to be a lawyer here. If I was pretend to be a lawyer, that would be bad. So I just want to tell you the way, my personal ideas. So again, if that's the case where an IRS agent sat in a trial and specifically said to a jury, "Hey, look, no, they have not paid these things off," it could unduly influence that jury. And I think that's absolutely, true. I've never sat on a jury personally. I have been called for jury duty, right? But I have never gone personally. And so I can only imagine what it'd be like to sit in a jury box. And if I heard, something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, these people have not paid taxes on anything. They're 3 years and they owe all this money," it could be, prejudicial in some ways. It could affect my finding them innocent or guilty based upon, the totality of the evidence. And I think that's an outstanding reason just alone to have a new trial, because if in fact they did pay, which all signs say they did pay, and now Harvard lawyer Lee, she had pointed out, "Hey, well, their lawyers," she doesn't know why their lawyers didn't produce the counsel checks or the cover sheet to the returns or anything like that. From my information that I've got from a very, very inside track, I can say, I'm just going to say a source, unlike Katie Joy. I know the person's name, and it is a source, but from my understanding, they didn't, because they've already sent it to the IRS agents, all that, and they rejected it as invalid or not true. And this is the whole basis upon why they went into this trial, thinking that, "Hey, look, we have it covered, man. We paid all these things." And also, there's a lot of stuff supposed to be excluded, which we'll get into, that was brought into trial. And they're like, "Okay, we're not going to take a plea. We look, we paid this. They've accepted it. They've got our tax returns." And then the officer gets on the witness stand and says, "Oh no, they haven't. They haven't paid anything." And what could have kind of happened, and again, I'm attributing all this to Harvard lawyer Lee for her brilliant breakdown. And again, it is in accordance with what I've heard as well. So, but imagine that you have a credit card, okay, and you make a payment to the credit card, and you say, "Oh look, yeah, I got a zero balance," and they say, "Hey, look, we're still waiting for your $100 payment here." You're like, "What the hell are you talking about? I don't have a $100 payment. I paid this off." And they're like, "No, you haven't." I was like, "Okay, sue me." So they sue me. You go to court and they say, "Hey, look, you still owe $100. I'm like, "Here's my receipts." They're like, "Those are invalid." It's like, what the hell are you talking about? It's payment. I paid a payment. Your other persons in your office even say, "Yes, we've got the payment." Matter of fact, other persons in the IRS said, "Yes, we do have the receipts." They had verified after the fact that yes, they did have the returns. They were paid. And so, you go into the trial, you go into there going, "Yeah, hey, judge, I paid this off." And the jury goes, "Nope, guilty." It's like, what the hell just happened? This is why I think that truly Todd and Julie Chrisley are actually astonished that they had a guilty verdict. I really do think that they were not expecting that at all. And there's a lot of reasons why. That's just one reason, because again, they was paid. Kimwaki says, "Does the U.S. not have a distinct separate tax court to decide on taxation matters?" From what I understand, somewhat. But this is a criminal prosecution. This is failure to pay taxes, right? So it's not a matter of a tax court deciding what taxes you owe or anything like that. This is a criminality that was attached to the fact that you failure to pay, taxes. And being a high profile when you're dealing with $77,000. Yeah, the government's probably going to go after that. No, I think there was more to it than that. Yes. Do I think that there's an unfair bias against them? Yes. If you guys remember the backstory, and by the way, again, please come on in, please come on in if you think you've got something to add. I really want your guys' opinion. So, if you guys remember way back when, he accused his one of his employees, his name was Mark Braddock or something, that Mark had committed all these crimes. Mark was impersonating Todd. Even though Todd had fired him way long ago, about 10 years ago, he had fired Mark, and Mark was the one doing all these things, signing their names to these things. And so that's another reason why I think they were really seriously considering the fact that they were, going to be found innocent, because they had evidence or reasons to believe or convince the jury that, hey, no, we weren't even doing any of this. We weren't, trying to borrow $30 million worth of loans and not paying back. It was Mark that was doing all these and forging their names and things of that nature. And of course, there's obviously something they're counted as well. But again, that was part of the entire holistic reason why they were brought to trial in the first place, from what I understand. But the IRS seems to have it out for them. Really seems to have it out for them. And so if, again, though, it is the case that the officer was incorrect, whether she lied or not, right? I still think even if she was incorrect, there's reasons for a new trial. But their allegations on the court record is that she lied. And of course, I get that, right? You want to have the strongest verbiage you can in order to get your trial, new trial, right? And whether they can prove she lied or not, she might have lied. She was wrong. She might have, though, committed perjury if she knew that there was actually a payment that they had received, and they just didn't apply it properly. They didn't apply it to the case. That way, that's the reason why she looked at it. She said, hey, look, I looked at it. There's still an outstanding balance. Someone in the IRS did not take their payment, even though they accepted the returns and the payment, and apply it to those 3 years of 2014, 15, and 16, which could actually, again, be indicative of, I hate to say a conspiracy because I'm not a conspiracy nut, but it does seem kind of weird that they didn't apply it in this case. People get things applied every other case, but in this particular case, for some reason, it wasn't. Why? When we pay credit cards, it gets applied. When we pay taxes, it gets applied. But for some reason with Todd, it didn't. And you have the IRS agent that investigated all this going, yeah, we didn't get the payments when the rest of the office said, yeah, we did. It's just weird all the way around. There's a lot of things in here that's just weird. So I think just on that, they have a really strong ground. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I could be way off, right? Who the hell knows, right? But Harvard Lee thought that this was pretty solid as well. So anyways, what do you guys think, though? Do you guys think that just on that alone is enough sufficiency to get a new trial? I mean, just on that, yeah, I think it would. And the reason why I think it would is because if they can show to the judge, hey, look, this is prejudicial to a jury, that if the jury would sit there and go, yeah, these people don't pay taxes, that they can be unfairly swayed, they have a right to a fair trial. They have a right to fair trial. And if they don't get that, then they have a right to ask for a new one, right? Kim Muck says, I understand that taxation involved fraud can wind up in a criminal courts when in Canada the tax liability would have been already pinned down by the tax court. Yeah, well, welcome to America. I don't know. I mean, again, I think there was a lot of internal stuff going on. I think they really had it out for the Chrisleys. But anyways, because I mean, even though they, again, as Harvard Lee pointed out, they might not be completely innocent. They may not be completely guilty either. I mean, there might be a little bit of a culpability all the way around, but I still think they have a strong case with the fact that somebody did apparently forge their signatures, and then actually go after people that worked for them and say, look, don't, well, I don't know exactly what they said, but basically, they supposedly threatened some of the people that worked for them with some kind of violence, from what I understand. And then they, I guess, bugged their house or something like that. And then they had a warehouse full of documents, and they had this is the other thing that Harvard Lee was talking about. They had a search warrant to go get documents, but it excluded a specific warehouse of something. And they went through the warehouse anyways, right? Now, we all know, obviously, if you have you don't have to be a lawyer to know if you have a search warrant and it excludes something and you go and do it anyways, it's the fruit of a poisonous tree. You can't use anything. It's excluded, right? again, don't have to be a lawyer to know basic legal concepts. So they had argued that it was excluded and that the scope of the search warrant was too broad. Now, they got ruled against, and I don't know the reasons why they got ruled against, that it was too broad or whatever, but they got ruled against and the evidence was admitted. But then the actual countered, though, that the evidence that they got was admitted was something they found later on because of the discovery, because of the warehouse information. So through the warehouse information, they discovered something else, and that got introduced into the testimony, an AOL stuff. And that was their arguing now fruit from the poisonous tree. And the government saying, well, we have other sources which would have led us to this or did lead us to this. And that's a kind of a problem for the IRS or the IRS, I think, because they initially said they had no other source. It was the AOL information was, again, I don't know exactly what was in there. Don't know. Don't ask me. I have no idea. If you guys know, whatever. But I really don't know what's in there. But they said the AOL information was specifically because they went through the warehouse that was excluded from the search warrant, which would have been the fruit of the poisonous tree. And so they're coming back now saying, no, we had other sources that would have led us to it, because they have to show that they would have eventually found it anyways, having second, third, tertiary, something along the lines where they could have found it. And they never argued this. They never argued that. Matter of fact, they even said, no, this is how we found it. They never came back. Now, the government has not filed anything yet. I don't know how long they have to file. With our system the way it is, probably 2,000 years. I mean, it's just ridiculous how long these things take. Most of the time, though, it can be like 90 days, 30 days. I don't know. But whatever it is, they haven't filed yet. And as Harvard lawyer Lee pointed out, you only hear one side, basically, right? The side that gets it in saying this, and this, you go, oh, yeah, they make a good case. Then you hear the other side and you go, yeah, that case, that wasn't a good case. Well, so we don't know what the government has to say. But I don't know what the government's going to come back and say when you have a IRS officer sitting on the stand saying they did not pay their taxes. We didn't get any tax returns from them at any time, not even, years after, 6 years after what it was. Nope, we didn't get them. They didn't send us anything. Now, granted, the jury go, yeah, they sent them in late, but whatever, but better late than never. But here you have an officer, I think, unfairly prejudicially swaying the jury, saying, hey, they didn't pay any taxes. So you have the jury going, yeah, they're just a bunch of tax, criminals. They're just people that don't pay their taxes. It would have an effect, right? So on that alone, is it significant enough to get into trial? Yeah, I think so. Dude, if you think about it this way, if you were convicted on something, let's say you didn't have anything you did wrong. Let's say that what it really was your employee. Let's say this guy Mark, right? Mark Braddock. Let's say it really was him completely. He really absolutely did all these things. He forged your signatures and screwed you over hard. Like that never happens, right? We've never had anybody in our communities forge signatures now, have we? Yeah. Or screw anybody over, have we? But let's assume this is you. And so you go, hey, look, I didn't do anything wrong. You go to court. You're sitting there, you have a smile on your face, knowing you did nothing wrong. All the evidence is on your side. And all of a sudden, you get an IRS officer up there going, hey, yeah, no, Nikki 38 did not pay her taxes for those 3 years. Nope, we didn't get anything from her. And Nikki 38 is going, what the hell are you talking about? Yes, you did. Go ask the people in your office. Right? And then after the trial, they go ask the people in the office, and the office people go, yeah, Nikki 38 did pay. We have it here. It just wasn't applied to the tax liability. Therefore, when the tax officer went to go check it out and pull the records, there was nothing there that showed they paid anything. Nothing had been applied because I guess for some reason they have, two different systems and things will, one hand doesn't talk to the other hand or something. I don't know. It seems screwy to me. But that's essentially from what I understand happened. They got the tax returns. They got the money that was due, and they just simply did not attach it to the account for the tax liabilities. Now, let me ask you, Nikki38, by the way, please come in, say hi. The StreamYard is up there. Come on in, say hi. If that was you and you thought to yourself, hey, look, man, this jury, they can, and again, there's other things as well, but let's just say for this, hey, this jury was, man, they were already prejudicial against me on the get-go, man. They thought I didn't pay any taxes, right? Of course they're going to convict me, thinking that it's more likely that I did, do these other things because, they're like, oh, they didn't pay taxes for these 3 years. And also a point of note, Todd Chrisley's lawyer said in the initial statements in the opening or whatever, saying, hey, look, my clients have paid these things. They're paid. They're paid. Setting up the foundation for a defense, knowing that they were paid. And all of a sudden, later on, they're like, somebody comes out on trial. Oh, nope, they're not paid. And that looks like the lawyer has egg on their face, right? It looks like the lawyer is dishonest. Looks like the lawyer is lying to the jury. Now, clear that didn't happen. The lawyer was telling the truth. But to a jury, they don't like that. We found out very, very strongly in the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp case. Juries and people don't like lawyers that are just not straight up honest, right? Now, I'm not saying that Amber Heard's lawyers were dishonest. They were. But, I mean, hypothetically speaking, they were. But they don't like that kind of stuff, right? And so, by the way, that's in my opinion. They were. But I think that it would very much be prejudicial to the jury if, in fact, it was the case that they had paid, they had paid the amount due, and the officer from the IRS is saying, no, you did not, right? So those are the big two things, the fruit of the poisonous tree, that the AL information, again, and I'm not remembering what was specific was in it, don't really care, to be honest with you, but based upon the fact that the AL information was found because of what they found in the warehouse, which was excluded from the original search warrant, that they have a right. They have a very good right to say that their Fourth Amendment rights were violated, and I think they were. Now, the courts have kind of said, well, we kind of ruled on that, but they're arguing, no, they didn't. They ruled whether the scope of the warrant was too broad or not. They ruled that it wasn't too broad. That's what they ruled. They ruled it wasn't too broad, but they still excluded the warehouse, which they did go search, which then led to some other stuff. I'm just going to call it the AL information. Again, I don't know what it is. And if that's the case, they didn't rule on it already. What they ruled on was if it's too broad or not. They didn't rule if, in fact, they got the information for the AOL stuff through the stuff they found in the warehouse, which would have been excluded from the original search warrant. Again, this is how I'm understanding it. If you understand it different, if I got stuff wrong, which I probably did, because I'm not a lawyer and I don't play one on YouTube, unlike other people, Nikki, Katie Joy. Nikki, come on in here. Dang it, I'm looking. There you are. There you are. Well, hi. Ooh.
Hey, how are you?
A little feedback. Hey, so let me ask you. I mean, you've been kind of following this, haven't you, a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did you watch Harvard Lee's video?
No.
Okay. Link is in the video description. Go check it out. But based upon what I said, is that kind of cogent with what you know as well? Does it gel with it?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as I know, honestly, my opinion would be that I think they should just throw the whole thing out and just let them be. Because as far as I'm concerned and all the evidence I've seen, they did pay their taxes. So there should be no reason for a lawsuit or anything like that whatsoever. And they actually illegally searched their part of the home that wasn't even on the papers.
Yeah, that was brought up as well. Todd has brought that up. And yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And let me think, let me run this by you. If they do get this set aside, this ruling, this guilty verdict set aside, now, from what I understand, the government never has an obligation to refile. They have to decide to refile or not, do they not?
I have no idea, to be honest.
You're not American, are you? You're Canadian.
No,
I'm
Canadian.
Yeah, you guys with your Canadian stuff, I'm telling you. Okay.
Yeah, it's so different. It's so different. I know it wouldn't fly. Trust me. If there was something to do with some sort of tax evasion or anything like that in Canada, oh no, they're right on that shit. Like I actually last year, they thought I earned $11,000 and didn't claim it. So when they told me that, I'm like, no, that's not even true. I was like, no.
No.
And they're like, well, we don't really think so either, but for some reason, it's saying that you did. So all I had to do was go to the bank, give my bank statements, and just a couple other things, and gave it to them, and it was sorted right out, right then and there.
Yeah,
I didn't.
it's the way it should be, right?
Yeah, it didn't take years for them to come after me either. It was done right when it was brought up. Like as soon as they got it, they're like, okay, yeah, we need to know.
Well, don't you think though that's kind of indicative of what would happen if they really were after Todd Chrisley and his wife? Which again, I'm not paranoid, but it sure seems like they are. That they have dragged this out, they have targeted them, which they have argued, and if they can show a multitude of different things, like for example, searching things they weren't supposed to search, searching the home they weren't supposed to search, the any kind of wiretapping or bugging. Or if they had, of course, we know that they searched the warehouse that was excluded. If they can show this pattern of behavior of the fact that they didn't apply it to the right account, and by the way, there's no love lost between the IRS and Todd Chrisley, right? They hate each other, right? It's personal with both of them, I'm sure, and I mean with the people that work for the IRS, not the IRS itself. I realize it's an entity. But don't you think they can argue, hey, look, we should even have not if this gets set aside, they put it and they file something and say, look, we want to argue that we shouldn't even have a new trial. This should be, thrown out completely, like you said. Now, I don't know what it's called. I don't know how it would work. I understand with prejudice, but I mean, if they threw this out, would it be, would they attach it with a prejudice thing? I don't know because it's.
I don't know. I think that they know that they fucked up big time, and because of that, they're backpedaling and honestly trying to find something, anything, to stick him to because. They screwed up. That's a big deal. If he paid his taxes, they illegally searched and then, search an area that they weren't supposed to. And he actually did, in fact, pay his taxes, which is what it looks like. They're fucked, aren't they?
Yeah,
that's a big mistake to make.
It may be when he paid the taxes because he did pay them late. However, he did pay them, and that's a big thing. And when you have an officer of the court for the IRS saying to a jury, hey, we never got any payment for this guy. Now Todd looks like he's lying. His lawyer looks like he's lying. I mean, what's the jury supposed to think? Yeah, they're lying. I mean, who are they going to trust?
Exactly. And that's the thing. They didn't lie.
They didn't, right.
Like,
they didn't. That's the funniest part.
It was, and yet they still found them guilty. And didn't they even say, they said something on the lines of, they didn't even have certain information. And yet they were still went through with the guilty verdict because of that. Because I remember one of the lawyers was like, oh, we don't have that. Oh, we didn't see that. Well, then how is he guilty? And I think it was the fact that he did pay or something like that. I don't quote me.
Well, the officer kind of doubled down because they had said, hey, they sent this in. And the officer's like, no, the last time I looked at this was like the day before, whatever it was. She said, no, I looked at the accounts. It's still open. It still has a balance of $77,000. I think it was what it was or something like that. So that when an officer of the court who is an IRS agent says, no, the account still has its balance due, what is the jury supposed to think?
Yeah, that's
So based upon those two major things, the IRS agent, again, either lying or just not being informed of what the hell is going on, which seems odd to me. It seems odd that she would not know what was going on and that, it was paid because everybody seems in the IRS knew that it was paid because when they went to go check it out, they knew. Right.
That's suspicious to me. It seems like you're right. They hate him. And that's what this is about. It's more of a, it's like a fuck you to Todd Chrisley and they just want to get him. They just have to. It's like an ego trip or something. And now that they know, oh shit, we screwed up, they're trying to find something.
And that's what he's been saying too, though, right? I mean, he's been saying, look.
They're trying to drag this out until they can find something because they're fucked. They fucked up big time. Big time.
Yeah, I think they
like
did.
Idiots.
I think they did. I think they screwed their case, and this is why Harvard lawyer Lee was just like most people will file a motion to set aside a judgment, right? That's kind of pro forma. I mean, just like most people, if they can afford it, will probably do some kind of appeal if they can find anything to latch on to find if there's any kind of judicial irregularity or something that was ruled upon appropriately. That's normative in most cases. But in this particular case, this is a motion to set aside the judgment. It's technically not a motion to set aside the judgment. I guess it's a motion to basically for a new trial and to say the other one was just flawed. I guess I don't. Is that what it's called? I know there is something called a motion to set aside a judgment, and a judge can do that. But again, not a lawyer, so whatever. I was hoping potentially criminal could probably give us a help, but he I think is busy tonight. But if they have sufficiency to do that, to set it aside on Fourth Amendment right, because that's big. Fourth Amendment violations are big in America. We do not toy around with that. If there's a whiff that a person's Fourth Amendment rights were violated, which in this particular case, I clearly think that they were, it would be set aside and they would get their new trial. And I don't see how the government's going to come back and go, oh yeah, we screwed the pooch on this. The officer was wrong, but
yeah, there's going to be a but.
Yeah, the jury's already, but the damage is already done though.
Well, that's the thing though. Okay, so I think their but might be, well, we searched this area and we found something, even though it would have been considered an illegal search. Can they still use that?
From what I understand on the search portion, if they could,
no, but
well, if they could determine that the ALL stuff could be discovered through a different means, then they have some kind of standing. But also the problem is though they've already said we did not have another source for it. So even if they did have another source after the fact, I don't think why would that matter? They've already said, look, this was this is contingent on the fact that we got this through the documents that we found in the warehouse. And that's fruit of the poisonous tree. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. All that should be excluded, and all the ALL stuff. Yeah. So even if there's some damning stuff in that ALL stuff, it doesn't matter, right? Yeah,
because it was done illegally, right? So I mean, it shouldn't even be a thing at all.
And I think it's going to bite them. And I think that my prediction is that this jury. It's not jury nullification or anything. We have to be a jury that says, hey, look, we're not going to vote guilty. This is going to be a set aside of the jury or whatever they call it. I think that they are going to get either a new trial or they're just going to throw this one out. And I don't know if it's with prejudice or say that, look, we're not going to refile. This is enough crap going on and just move on. Now, I'm hoping it's the later. And who knows?
I think they should just throw it out and be done with it, because what's the point of wasting all the money, the tax money and everything to go to court when they fucked up?
And that's a good point they might bring up. It's like, what the hell is the point of all this at this point? It's paid.
Yeah, just let them go. They're not guilty. I would so I don't know what the holdup is, except for they're trying to get them on something. So they don't
because it goes back again to the fact that they had $30 million in outstanding loans that they supposedly there's some forging of signatures to get the loans, and there supposedly there was a Chase account that had some money in it, and they were telling banks they had more money than they did in these accounts in order to get these significant loans to get rental properties. And again, who the hell knows? Because it could have been a thing that this employee guy did. It could have been the accountant. I don't know. I really wish I had more information about all that, but I'm not a psychic and I can't read the mind of Todd Chrisley, whether he knew about this or not. I like to think that he, is the innocent victim in all this, but even if he wasn't, it doesn't justify what the IRS is using dishonest tactics to go after him, and nothing justifies that. Nothing, no matter what you've done, they violated his rights, for God's sake. I just love that.
Would just be enough, you would think, but like I said, I think they need something. Because they messed up that bad. So I don't know.
What do you think they're going to do though? What do you think they're going to? What do you think that butt's going to be? No, nothing.
That butt is going to be like the $30 million or whatever, and having said that they apparently had more money than they did to get other properties. I think that even though it's not a big deal, they're going to make it a big deal because they have to make something stick. I really feel strongly about this. I don't know. I feel like he's going to get fucked somehow.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I hope not.
I think he's already getting screwed now. I mean, he's on house arrest.
He is, and I think it's going to get worse because there's no way you can beat the IRS. I mean, no way. They're going to have something. I don't know. I feel it. You know what I
mean? Here's an interesting thought on that, though. They could have taken a plea, and they didn't. Right? Whether they were to change their plea or not, who knows? But based upon the fact that they paid the taxes and there was fruit of the poisonous tree, and there's a whole bunch of other factors that they would have to factor in two things. One, is it taking a plea worth it? Now, I'm not saying that they would take a plea. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they would have to factor in, is taking a plea worth it? And based upon the totality of the facts, a second trial, they might say, look, we don't want to go through this again. Maybe we work something out as a deal. Okay, one or two, they have the option to testify in their own defense, which they didn't do in this one. Right?
Yeah. True.
Now, doubt that they would. I don't think it's ever a good idea in this kind of situation. Probably, again, I'm not a lawyer, to probably testify. I don't think they would testify, but they at least brought it up to say, hey, look, if we had a new trial, we would have to literally sit and reevaluate our position of whether we want to testify or not. Even though if they probably wouldn't, and even the judge would probably go, yeah, they probably not going to do that. That's not the judge's call. They have the right to at least reevaluate whether they want to testify on their own behalf or not.
Yeah.
Again, not a lawyer, not playing one on YouTube. I just have to keep
but
pointing
it's
that out.
interesting to speculate and just see, like, I just can't see them getting off scot-free because, again, it will make the government look horrible. And I just don't think they're going to allow that.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that.
That scares me for him.
No, I think you're right on that.
Yeah, I really do. And that scares me for him. I have a really bad feeling about this.
They probably want to say, look, we don't want to end up with too much egg on our face. We already know we screwed up. How about we do this?
And find something that will stick.
Right.
Even if it's just a little bit, that way they're still right in a way. Something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's what's going to happen.
They might whether it includes jail time or not, I don't know. I don't think either one of them.
They're going to go to prison, no, but I think they're going to be hit with something.
Yeah.
That way they are still guilty of something, not anything as serious, but they're going to be guilty of something. That way the government gets off the hook. I don't know. Does that make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. No, that's usually how plea deals work. I mean, they may say, look, we'll pay this much in restitution, or, we'll take a slap on the wrist kind of stuff. 30 days in jail or something is better than 30 years. They weren't looking at that. And speaking of 30 years or the 20 years, a good segue to one of your favorite reporters / journalists of all time. I believe her name is Katie Joy Paulson. Is that her name? Without a Crystal Ball, that was saying that.
Yeah,
you remember her, right? So she was, I guess, saying that this was all a done deal, and
that's right.
Mandatory sentencing. He was going to absolutely get 20 years per count.
No, he's going away no matter what for 30 years. Yep, that's what the journalist said. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought I remember hearing something like that.
Prison, 30 years, the both of them, they're gone.
And by the way, those aren't even mandatory sentences. Emily Baker had pointed out in her stream that Katie Joy got the numbers completely wrong. Shocker. Shocker on that one. Who would thunk, right?
Yeah, who would have thought?
But I think she planned her little party a little too soon, because if you remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that Todd Chrisley has another lawsuit out there.
Yes, I do believe so.
Do you remember the details on that? Remember a little bit of details?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's suing this reporter, and he's not going to stop.
Do you remember why?
Well, definitely the part where she can't even come up with her source. The one that worked on it.
Yeah, I think I recall that.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue. No name, no phone number, nothing.
So weird. If I accuse somebody of blackmailing their daughter with a sex tape that one of the other kids bought for $5,000, and say that I had a source that told me this, that works for the company that they worked for.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're supposed to produce it for discovery, and don't produce it. They actually have a motion to compel on that. Yeah, there's some defamatory things going on there, I believe.
Yeah, there's quite a few, actually. If you really go through it all, she's done a lot of boo-boos.
A lot of boo-boos. By the way, I've already gone on record. I'm just going to say it. She had no source. If I'm wrong on that, I will happily eat crow and go, God dang it, screwed up again. But I'm going to say right now on record, she has no source. Yeah.
She has no source. If somehow, some way, there's a source, she's paid him. I swear to you, because there's no source. There's no way.
Yeah, it's her source is her second and third personality.
Exactly. There's no way there's a source.
And in fact, she did tell, again, I know this from my source, which does exist, but she had told them, the lawyers, Christie's lawyers, that she doesn't know the source's name, and she doesn't have any contact information for that particular source. Now, let me wrap your head around, Nikki. Put the duct tape on your head, because wrap it tight. Wrap it tight.
Yeah. All right, it's good.
Because I think your brain's going to explode trying to process this. Okay, because mine damn near did. I couldn't do it. Maybe you will have better luck. Can you explain to me how, if you were a quote reporter journalist, oh God, I got a little thing in my throat trying to say that, but if you were a reporter journalist and you had an actual source, one, you would validate that source's information of who that they are, who they say they are, and where they work. And two, you would have contact information with them if you spoke with them. You would have something to say. This is their telephone number. This is the account they use. Something. Would you not?
Absolutely. I would validate that for sure is actually truthful. So therefore I would have to do some research. I would talk to them. I would talk to other people. There would be trace evidence that I've actually done that. And then no, I wouldn't give up my source because that's not what a real reporter does. Now, is it? But I would give you their contact information.
Yeah, no.
I would just say, look, this is somebody, but I'm not giving up my source.
I think it depends. I look, I do believe in that I do believe that you should have some kind of journalistic integrity and if at all possible, not give up sources. However, if you're ordered to, then you're ordered to.
Yeah, if you're ordered to, you're damn right you're giving it up. You have no choice.
And she was ordered to. Yeah, I mean,
she's trying, though, under the guise of journalist reporter, she's trying to say that her right is not to be able, she cannot give up her source. She doesn't have to give up her source under the guise of being reporter/journalist, which we all know she's not. She's never went to school for. She's not nothing, nada. She's not. So you have to give this up. You've been ordered to by the judge, and the fact that she can't produce even a name is very suspicious to me.
And no such privilege exists. No such privilege exists. She doesn't get any special. And by the way, Supreme Court did determine that YouTubers are not reporters. So,
imagine that.
Yeah, imagine that. She didn't work for any news organization. She doesn't work on behest of any news organization. First of all, any news organization will hire her. Oh my God! I mean, even Fox News would be like, nope.
Exactly.
Right. So she has no. By the way, Nikki, do you really, honest to God, and I mean, I really want you to answer this with the ultimate honesty of your every fiber of your being. Do you honestly think that Katie has the integrity, the ethical journalistic integrity to even say something like, I being an honorable and not giving up my source? Or do you think she would throw that motherfucker under the bus in 2 seconds if it would save her ass?
Well, I can answer that for about 5,000 there, Alex. She would throw his ass under the bus just like she did Swanson.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just like Janelle Evans, when she was speaking with her and knowing the situation surrounding Janelle, what was going on, she said, and I quote, sometimes when I say off the record, it is going to go on the record, and we're going on right now, and blasted.
I remember that. Oh, yeah.
And it put Janelle and her children in fucking danger, all because Katie got her feelings hurt.
Oh, my God. I do remember that. Yes. That's there's a word for that. It's called hypocrisy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because she did say that.
Everybody tells everyone, like you and I, for instance, and others that know Katie very well, have tried to say, do not speak with this woman in a conversation. I'm talking email, any messenger, any chats, a room like street, nothing. Don't. Because if you do, she will throw your conversations out there for the world to see. Not only that, she fakes screenshots.
Yeah, I can't honestly accuse her of that because, she did.
I'm going to say, sorry, we'll go with.
She has questionable evidence.
She does throw stuff out of real screenshots. Yes, she absolutely does. And she has been, there's claims that she does fake them. And I have seen them side by side. And it's what she puts out and then what the actual conversation is.
Oh, I think they've been edited. Yeah. You're talking about things that have been edited and changed? I manipulated. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I think she's manipulated things.
Oh, yeah. She's manipulated them. Yeah. I should have said my bad.
I've seen
yes, she's definitely messed with them. So you can't say anything to this woman in private because it's never, ever a good look. Ever, because you'll get fucked over in the end and she'll make you a horrible person, make you look like one anyways. And
context has always changed on them. But I mean, she was the one that, again, she falsely accused me of fabricating screenshots, which we know now did not happen.
And I've seen all your talks, not all of them, but I mean, I've seen a whole list of a conversation. You didn't do what she said whatsoever.
Not even remotely so.
She's done it to Lindsay Chrisley. She's done it to Amy Duggar. She's done it to Janelle Evans. She's done it to thousands.
It's her go-to. And again, I'm just one of many that she tried to slander using the same playbook.
And yours was disgusting. Sexual harassment.
Well, I'm talking about that was another thing she obviously lied about, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about she falsely accused me of fabricating screenshots, and even in her lawsuit against me, even the complaint that I have that I read on my channel, she was out there, saying Steve fabricated screenshots. Okay, where's your evidence for this? Because you know how much evidence she's ever produced for it? Zero.
Exactly. And even Leslie sticks right up for you and says no. And so does the other one that gave you the fucking screenshot.
All
Not,
right. I mean, the
I've
person,
seen it.
right? There's this, you know, there's nobody that's denying this. There's nobody
No, you
that.
can't deny. I've seen all the proof.
So
That's why I said, someone had mentioned something. It's like, why are you always on Steve's side? Why, like, honestly, and this isn't being rude. They're like, why is it you believe him? And why is this? I said, because he shows me evidence. If I see the evidence, damn right, I'm going to stick up for him.
So
they're like, okay, I just wanted to know.
So Nikki, I showed you the evidence of the actual how I got the screenshots and the story behind it. I with all the groups and all the conversations with Leslie and everything else. Some of it I made public, which was from obviously from Kim. And people know this now. Kim has never denied it at all, ever. Leslie has never denied it at all.
Never.
And you know, and I hate, obviously I never wanted to bring in Flossie at all because, you know, I adore Flossie, but even Flossie has, you know, never denied any of this. This is the three people that were involved with this the most.
Yeah, exactly. So why would all these people say, okay, Katie, like this never happened, but yet she's the only one that says it does? Mm-hmm. No, again, she's lying. And I don't understand how her little stupids don't do that. I call them little stupids because I don't know what else to call them. Either they are really stupid or very easily manipulated, or they're manipulated to the point that they just can't get out, and it's almost like a cult or something, you know?
Well, what about the people that actually know better? Like the trolls out there that are still out there going, yeah, Steve, you know, Steve did this. Steve has Picasso on his screen, and Steve fabricated all this.
There's not very many that come to me anymore. There's a few hardcore ones, but they're just, let's be honest, they are out here harassing everyone and anyone, you hardcore as well as others, and they're bullying, and they're just as fucking nasty as KJ, in my opinion.
I got a super chat about Chat Bunga. He says, use the money, this money for the super chat. You're gonna love this one, Nikki. Use this money to pay back the 84% of the donators that donated to your expired case against Katie. Now I'm using it for beer. Beer money. Thank you, $5. And also, but thank you. By the way, thank you, Cat Bunga. One, I appreciate that. Two, you reminded me, and I totally forgot about this. My GoFundMe is in the video description, and actually, I'm going to pin it to the live chat right now. So because I only want Nikki in here because she's the one that matters right now. So this is my link to my GoFundMe. It is perfectly fine if you want to donate to help me, you know, with legal costs, because I have spent $10,000 in legal costs and I've only got 4.4 back. So that means $6,000 of my own money. And yeah, there is a lot of legal costs that is involved with trying to sue somebody. And
yeah, I see that.
People don't realize it.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, when did you file?" Well, you want to help me, you know, figure this out for me? I'm supposed to spend $20,000 or $30,000 of my own money to get justice. Which, by the way, I was going to be spending all my money. I was going to go all the way, except at the time, there was no Todd Chrisley. There was no 7M. There was, and it got really expensive really quickly. And of course, you know, I stopped promoting my GoFundMe because I suck at self promotion, and people didn't notice that I suck at self promotion. So I didn't get as much as I had hoped to. Which, by the way, every dime went to legal fees. There's nothing to get paid back. But thank you for pointing that out, because there's nothing to get back. It all went to legal fees. I didn't make a freaking dime. So I don't have to give anybody back anything when it all went to legal fees.
You have to spend your own money on a lawsuit. Plus, you used all from the GoFundMe. How is this a fraud? I would love somebody to please explain this to me and then show me your fucking proof. GoFundMe, because they're lying.
GoFundMe, look, you know,
I've seen the proof.
GoFundMe said the same thing. They're like, yeah, this is perfectly. They told me it's perfectly fine.
It is. If it wasn't legal there, then you wouldn't have shut it. Okay, so you turn off your GoFundMe and then you turn it on just to have to prove a fucking point to these morons.
They are morons.
And one of these morons actually said to me, "Oh, okay, well, I apologize then. You're right. He's not a fraud, you think?" So
Steve wasn't lying about that. It's so funny because you know now, and Aaron knows, and Tina knows, other people know. Even there's certain people that actually I will never mention their name again. Know that I wasn't lying through any of this. That everything I've always said is the truth. And have you noticed that even certain people that have left my sphere because I think that they have lied, I know they lied, they will not even bring up certain things because they knew I was telling the truth, and they know I have receipts, and they know that I also have receipts that they have never seen either. One thing I always do is I always keep a little bit in the background, always a little bit, because you never know what I have made public or I haven't, for this very reason.
Need kind of almost like you need that game card, right? Like, because you don't want to show everything.
I've already showed the receipts. Go look at my other.
Show the receipts, videos. Steve.
Yeah, I've already shown them.
There's videos out, folks.
Yeah, these have already been out. Go look at the fundraiser. Many of them are on there.
Yeah.
And I've also told people if you want to see like more personal stuff like bank records, yeah, I'll go in and hang out with you. I don't give a shit. But I've, whatever. But you've seen you've seen every statement I've had.
I have. I've seen everything. That's why I feel comfortable standing up for you.
I paid my American Express.
That people come to me though, like they're not assholes either. Not that I thought for sure, you'd get a couple in there that would be like, rah, rah, rah. No, they've actually asked me some legitimate questions and were quite nice about it. Awesome. And I've told them, and there's a few of them that I've changed their minds.
Yeah.
There's not one person that I haven't changed their mind yet. Not one.
And I think, the fact that I spent all this money to get some justice has paid off in many different ways. One, it has opened doors for me. As you know, I've been I've been involved with other lawsuits and other things that are going on to testify and potentially be a witness, and use some of the things that Katie has said about me as testimony and evidence that she does this to a lot of people.
I'm glad you're a witness for
right. Yeah, don't say who. Yeah, don't say for whom.
No, I won't. But that makes me happy.
But I've been asked, and so by serving her, it opened doors for me.
Yes.
And also by her giving me a counter complaint, it shows unequivocally that she's been lying about me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, obviously this person doesn't watch my other videos because I already read her complaint. And how many lies in there? I lost count.
I don't know.
I lost count. I mean, dude, she couldn't even get my residency right.
Yeah, exactly.
She said I lived in Elk River, Minnesota, for Pete's sake. This is not a legal document.
That was just recently. Yeah. It's just like, oh my God, you don't even.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so
it's not even close.
So yeah, I mean, and you know what's so funny? Everybody that's donated has come back to me. I've had so many people say, "Hey, you know what? I'm happy I'm donating. Here's more," because we know that you at least tried. You did something that more than most people did. You put your money where your mouth is in order to get justice, to stand up to somebody who lied about you. I took that shit personally, and matter of fact,
you did.
I will tell you something. I'll tell you something, Nikki. You want to hear something?
Yeah.
Okay. First, let me address this because my mod, Schilling, says, "Did you see that your name was added to the Grifties?" Yes, I was hoping.
Is it?
Yeah, it's so funny because Suzanne was trying to add my name, but it wasn't taking it, and I was like, "What, am I not good enough for this?"
Oh my God! You'll get so many more people new to your channel. Well, that's awesome. Whoever did that,
go for it. Matter of fact, I tell you, I've heard this.
Put mine on there too, please.
put Nikki, put Aaron. Come on, do us all.
We'd love to get more subs.
It's funny because I do think this is true, even though I haven't verified this, but it's just something I really can see Nick doing. So Nick Rakita has been telling supposedly, I've heard this is a rumor. I don't mind gossip and rumoring if you state it as such. I think it's kind of fun to kind of toy with it. I hate it when they put it out as facts. That's what drives me nuts. And I don't normally do much with gossip, but this one makes sense to me. He has been telling his audience that to go vote for him. Which makes sense. I could see Nick doing that. He wants to. I get it. If I was Nick, that's a brilliant thing to do. And he has a large audience. And so if you've heard that as well, if heard him say that, let me know. Because it's for fun. But with Katie, we all know that she really is grifting. So
yeah,
in my opinion. Okay, so let me tell you let me tell you a story. So at work, there was something that came up with something that said something, and management and I had a conversation, right? And I'm not going to get the specificities of it because I thought the person was talking about me specifically, and I found out no, it was a general thing towards I do, as you know, I do loss prevention, so it wasn't my name specifically. I misinterpreted a little bit, and I will admit that because again, I took it personally, right? But anyway, supposedly says something about loss prevention, doing something that never had happened, and being asked to do something that never had been asked to do, right? I do my job, and I'm telling you, I'm good at what I do. I mean, straight up, I'm really good.
We discussed that. Yep.
Yeah. And so, this was just very recently that as far as what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, found out more today about it. But they had said something that wasn't true, and I told management, I said, "Look, I got another shit on YouTube. Okay, they know what's going on. I got enough shit in real life about that. I do not need that. In the work environment that somebody's saying shit about me that's not true." And they said, "Well, actually, it's about loss prevention in general. It wasn't specifically toward you." And I'm like, well, you know what? I still take this personally, but no, that never happened. Nobody ever asked me to do certain things like that. And they're like, we know. They know it never happened. And so I was just, but I was like, but now I'm a little perturbed. I'm like, I take this shit personally when people do this. And people at work know what's going on. I'm honest about it because I figure if they're going to search me anyways, they're going to find out anyways. Might as well give them my story, right? I mean, right?
Exactly.
So, And nobody really knows where I work besides, really a handful of people. But obviously that's not because, I don't want some idiot like Menace to Sobriety show up at my work one day,
Oh,
because that
I
if
would
anybody
never
would, that
admit it,
psychopath
to be
would.
honest.
Right. But you see what I'm saying though? I was like, I get enough of that on the internet. I don't need it in real life with people making shit up.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
So where were we? Oh yeah, so the receipts are already out there. I have spent I have a $5,000 receipt that I spent. I have a 2,500, a 599 or something, a couple 225s, a 500. My first one was, like I said, one of my first big ones was on my Express card. That's paid off. So I mean, what? Let me ask you, Nikki. When somebody says receipts, what the hell do they think they're even asking for if not bank records and bank statements and itemized detail? I've said, I mean, GoFundMe has everything. They have itemized detail things, some of which, again, I never made my bank statements, my debit card, credit card, and my American Express card. Those I don't make public. What, hell no.
Yeah.
Right. But I gave it to all the GoFundMe, and they're like, yeah. And they turned, it was off for like a little while before, and you get this little message on the top that says we need to verify something. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
Okay. So once you get that and you talk to them, and it goes green again. So right now it's all it's all green. Everything's good. They're like, yeah, we know,
Yeah,
we know,
working.
yeah. Yeah. So whoever said there's an investigation or said it was fraudulent, they're lying to people. I mean, what?
I know the idiot who said that was hilarious when I read it, because I'm like, I'm sitting here waiting for you to turn it back on.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The idiot who said, "Oh look, I told you there was an investigation. I wasn't lying." I'm like, okay, let me turn these back on. I was telling the truth. I always fucking tell you people the truth. Every goddamn time I go on air, I'm telling you something I really fucking believe. If I'm not,
that's where you deserve an apology.
I do. Damn right I do.
You deserve an apology. Just like someone else on YouTube deserves an apology. But that person said she'd rather burn down her fucking channel than apologize to him. So, well, there's that. Keep being an asshole then.
Yeah,
both of them. They deserve each other.
I don't even get it. Look, I would even apologize. Look, I will tell you right now, if I really got something sincerely wrong, even about Katie,
same. I said the same thing.
I would be like, okay, I fucked that up. Yeah, I do owe her apology on that, right?
Exactly. Like I said something. I was talking to somebody today about the diaper and like the whole diaper thing. And I said, everybody's saying it. We don't have proof, but everybody is saying that the reason why she wears one is because she's too effing lazy to get off her ass and go for a pee, because she's online 24/7, right? Mm-hmm. Now, there's something mentioned me and was like, well, wait a minute. Well, what if she wears them for medical reasons? If she did, and I saw proof of that, I would apologize immediately.
Oh, I think you should. I think you should. And you know what's so funny?
Like a bag of shit. I don't know why she wears them. In my opinion, I think it's because she's online all the time. I really do.
Well, that's fine to speculate on that. I mean, what would make sense,
it's just
right?
Speculation. Yeah. That's what I think. I have no proof of it, but she does wear. You can see them, for fuck's sake. I just posted them on my community tab. Like, how much more evidence do people need for that? Not only that, she now covers herself with a blanket. So we know we caught her wearing one, right? It's just, what's the reason? The thing is, though, if it was a reason because she actually did have leaks and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? She would run that in the ground and cause all trolls and then take all the sympathy in. Oh, that's why I think she doesn't need them. Well, and she's wearing them because she's lazy.
But that's because you don't weaponize that kind of shit. Okay, people remember a long time ago, yes, I had a fecal impaction. I had 100 and some odd degree fever. I had to go to the hospital. Okay? Mm-hmm. That shit can kill you. And yet I still to this day, for some people, I don't know, and it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, why would it? I mean, it's a medical thing. But people are like, people bring up, when you see fecal impaction with, screen names and like that, they're talking about my medical thing. And it's like, okay, but that doesn't make me look bad. It makes you look bad.
It does.
Why the hell would it bother me? I don't give a flying fuck. I mean, I got a pretty thick skin. It doesn't bother me in the least. I mean, I know I was in bad shape. I mean, it was it was not fun. And I will tell you, I still have other things I need to take care of, which I've decided not to tell anybody about. Why? Because why? They're just market.
Exactly.
They're just market. So fuck people. I mean, I used to try to be honest with my friends and say, this is what's going on, but I'm scared to tell anybody certain things nowadays to get support on certain things. And it sucks. It does. I admit that. I'm not trying to elicit sympathy at all. As I wasn't even going to go in this direction, but it sucks.
Me. Honestly, I don't say or do anything. I swear to you. I'm actually, there's some differences right now in my life with online people, and I haven't said shit, and I won't. I'm not about that. I will never say anything. Even though I'm the one being trashed, I won't say anything.
Yeah, I've seen, I've seen some shit and I don't get it. You have nothing. You have been nothing but nice to me. You did exactly what I've asked people to do. Ask questions, get the truth, ask for evidence. You did. And so did many other people. All of them still support me. There's a reason for that.
Yeah. I just think it's ridiculous. I don't know why they just can't come to you and see the proof for themselves instead of constantly accusing and bashing.
Twofold. One, they don't want it. They do not want to. And some of them are just, they're banned from ever talking to me. There's certain people I will not speak with. You know,
I don't blame you. Not at all.
So they never get the insight. And you know what they do when they don't have the actual information? They make shit up.
Yeah, I've seen that. I really have.
They make shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal.
It's very sad to see.
That's why they were attacking the GoFundMe. And again, it doesn't really matter at this point. I mean, I've already paid everything off, up to date. I mean, my last bill was $225 and that's paid. So, I mean, I'm up to date. But it's still, and this was only like, I think July, June, August, whatever the hell bill was. I mean, $200, $225 a month just to even say hi to your lawyer is expensive.
It is.
But
yeah, I think your last bill was the end of July, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, sounds about right. And it was like $225. And so, when people are like saying, "Oh, Steve's fraudulent fundraiser," they don't know all the documentation I have. I showed you a document that nobody else ever saw. I swear to God, I'm not even lying to you. I don't think I even showed Aaron that document that I showed you.
No, you didn't. It was just me.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, if you do something wrong and if the person who did something wrong would just apologize, everything would be okay. I would be okay. If something happened to me and say somebody did something to me and I don't know, say it went on for a little while and then they finally realized, oh my God, I fucked up. And they came to me and said, you know what? I am sorry. I'm an asshole. I can't believe I did that. I should have came to you. Yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry. I would take that.
Yeah.
But they won't, but most of these people don't, they just keep running with it.
To some degree. Look, I mean, I have to tell you straight. I don't forgive very easily. And if it's somebody that's a shitlord that went out of their way to harm me, there's no forgiveness for them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it was something recent, say it was like about a week or a few days or something, that they were shitting on me, and then come to find out they're like, "Oh my God, I'm wrong," came and apologized.
That's different.
If they ran with it for like months and months and months, I hold grudges. I'll hold them till I'm.
Or they lied about you, even worse.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, those I don't forgive. But if somebody honestly said, "Hey, look, I thought this way. I believe." Yeah. Remember. I mean, I hate to bring it up again, but I will because it's important when people say, "Oh, Steve was right about Kyle." Yep. I was right about everything I said about that dude. Every fucking thing I said, I was right on, down to the line, and I proved it. I proved it in a court of law, and that he was manipulative, that he was dishonest.
He still got no apologies.
Maybe here or there, but the ones that vehemently, was against me, the true diehard Kyle stands, there's no forgiveness for them. And then I have that other person that I, got into a situation with that I'm not going to mention her name. She's not worth it. She absolutely screwed me over just like Kyle did. I was absolutely right about that too. Still have people to this day going, "Oh, you didn't pay this person." Bullshit.
I've seen the receipts. I mean,
I paid this person, and I didn't get a dime. I didn't even get any money. I had gotten nothing. I paid that out of my own pocket just because I thought it was the right thing to do, and I still got people shitting on me for it. And at that point, I was like, "Fuck off, off. You're done. Nope, you're not even looking at the facts at this point. If you're trusting this other person,
thank you for it either.
Not even a thank you. And there's other fuckery afoot too.
That's a good chunk of money.
Yes.
Shit, I could do a lot with that.
And after the stream ends, I'm going to tell you something else that only one other person knows about, that even you're going to be like, "Holy fuck," about this person, because again, it involves sensitive personal stuff, and so I'm not going to make it public, but I'm going to tell you something that you're going to be like, "Holy shit," and I do this for me. Do this for me. This be like, this is why they're considered sister wives, because she tells them what to do.
Oh no, you're my boyfriend now. Apparently,
can you
I've moved up in the world.
And I kept telling people, "No, you're so far out of my league. Trust me, that wouldn't happen."
Apparently not anymore.
No, I was trying to hook you up with a friend of mine, actually.
I know. Fuck off with that. No, I'm good. Jesus.
I'm a good man. Well, okay, I'm a shitty matchmaker. But okay,
right you are.
I hooked up somebody twice, and both of them didn't work out. I'm like, you know what?
And both of them blew up.
But they work short term. I can't. Long term stuff I can't plan on. Okay.
Look, I'm the best person to hook myself up. Okay.
Oh my God. But that's everything we just said is true. I swear to God, I was trying to hook her up. Yeah, all I want you to do is on Twitter go, holy shit, yeah, that is messed up, or something, whatever you want to word it. You don't have to go to the details of what it is, but I because I'm still processing this right now, and I'm it's a long story, but anyways, Steve going to use the cone of silence.
Hey, Alberta, Mama 3, and Autistic Show. Hi, lady.
All right, so the fundraiser stuff's kind of a done deal. Again, if you want to donate to the fundraiser, because again, I am still $5,000 down on that. Still $5,000 down on the non sequitur. Though I'm starting to get that back, and we are still going after Kyle. We have
that's a long waiting game for that one.
Yeah, my lawyer's doing all the paperwork on it though, which is kind of nice.
Yeah,
he's literally like, hey, just let me do it. He's like, you're on the right track of how to collect. He's like, but we got you, bro. And I was like, cool.
Yeah, your lawyer's awesome. I like him.
He is really amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm still people are like, oh yeah, the grifties. I'm still like down how many thousands of dollars. I'm like, how the hell am I making any money off this shit? I am the world's worst grifter because I'm not doing this shit right. I don't get it. It's simple fucking math. That's why they probably can't figure it out because they can't do it. They can't do math.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I told you, I'm like, you're a mod, share your fucking channel. You're like, no, share the other ones. And I just shared it anyways. You're the worst person to promote yourself. Trust me.
I always promote other people.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And that's the thing. I enjoy helping other people. And straight up, the biggest thing about the Non Sequitur show that I have, that hurts me of why it isn't as big as it should have been is because we have the potential to do good. We have the potential to help other channels, which we were doing. We were helping History Unsettled, although she fucked me over royally and started becoming a Uniturn fan for whatever reason. And then we're helping as the Assyriologist. What's their channel? Dr. Josh, who I adore. Dr. Josh is he's straight up one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet in your life. So that worked out well. If you don't know, I don't know if you know Dr. Josh.
No.
Yeah. So they do what's the name of the channel? Seriology something or other. But that worked out well. And then, we helped out other channels, and some channels that I promoted, stuck around, and other ones totally turned against me. Okay, whatever. But I'm not going to stop promoting channels. And then I keep telling them, though, look, when you get bigger, return the favor or turn against me. I don't, whatever.
Yeah, always. Always return the favor. I do that with my channel. Like, I have people in there that have channels, and they only have like maybe 15 members, and I tell them share it all the time. All my mods share channels all the time. That's I've always been like that.
Digital Hammurabi. I'm sorry I had a brain fart. Again, my mind's not as sharp as it used to be. Digital Hammurabi. That's exactly it. Yeah. Great channel. If you want to learn about Babylonian and Assyriology stuff. And I'm a huge fan of Dr. Josh. He was very kind of his time. He's come on when I was with Reasons to Believe doing Agree to Argue. He came on, and yeah, he's great. Really great. And he does an excellent Ken Hovind impression. One of the best.
Oh, does he?
Oh God. Okay, Hovind. I'm a high school science teacher, and if you don't know the love of God, I am gonna call upon the angels to strike and smite you down. Kind of shit.
Wow.
I can't do it. I can't do Ken Hovind. Yeah, he's got that twang, but yeah, he's really good at it. Digital Hammurabi, thank you. And my mods are smart, by the way. I wouldn't know what I do without these guys. Because that's funny because, all those people like, oh, all those Steve's mods left. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, and not.
No, they didn't.
No, my old ones did. I had like 6 or 7 or whatever, 12. I don't know. But you know what's funny? Not a single one of the motherfuckers ever came to me to ask questions. And I was like, and I found out one of them realized later on I was telling the truth. And through a mutual friend, I said they could come back and talk to me. They started speaking out shit, talking a little bit. But like you said, it didn't go on for very long. And that some things are forgivable, but when you have all these other mods that fucking did not even bother to come to me, and then basically believe somebody who I could prove was lying, okay, whatever, do you? I think I got to upgrade with the ones I've got now. Some of those mods, weren't even my idea anyway, so I was like, okay, whatever. I picked these mods at least.
Yeah, true.
The only thing I'm wondering is why is Kimomaki not a mod? I don't think Kimomaki wants. Yeah, Kimomaki's like, nah. But anyways, what other songs we got to talk about, Nikki?
I don't know. I know that EKC is going live at 10:30. I don't want to miss that. It's going to be good.
What is she doing?
Juicy.
What is she doing?
Oh, well, she apparently went over and promoted herself in Julie Virgo's stream earlier. Yeah.
What?
She's
First of
going to
all,
talk.
she sucks at promotion. Yeah, she sucks at
Yeah,
promotion.
I was there.
So.
It wasn't like that, but anyways.
Yeah, I don't find that for a second. Two, Julie Virgo is one of the shittiest people I've ever had to deal with on the internet.
Yeah, I'm dealing with her right now.
Why? Why would you even? Why? Why would you even bother with her?
Well, I'm stuck up for Megan, and I stuck up for Sue Elliott.
You should stick up for them. I like both of them.
Fucking right, I will, and I did. And I also told Julie that, at least I can apologize and walk away when I've done something wrong. Where are you at? Like, what's your excuse?
Yeah.
Because of course she brought the Roadhog thing on me. This was how many months ago? This was February, for fuck's sake. It's almost a year ago. It's done over with. I was his fucking mod. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. And look, people mod for different reasons.
Already.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I had somebody the other day like, oh, well, you were supporting Roadhog at one time. So what?
You're still best friends with him.
I supported Kyle at one time too. Want to rub that in my face? Who gives a shit? That's
exactly.
These are the dumbest things you ever hold against me if they've changed their position.
About something that happened a year ago. I'm talking about what they're doing right now, which is pure fucking racism.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a whole different ballgame.
That's why I was bitching, and that's why I was saying,
Yes, I will say it, and it's the funniest thing is I do not take this shit lightly. When I don't, I'm one of those people that say, maybe it wasn't meant to be racist, blah blah. I'm telling you right here now.
Oh, it definitely is now.
It was.
If it wasn't at first, it definitely is now. You don't keep calling someone a black puppy or a black dog.
AZ knew exactly what she was saying. She knew that it was supposed to have racial ownership.
Go back to your master and then deny saying that you said go back to your master. I don't fucking
or mutt
think so.
Or calling him a mutt.
Calling him a fucking mutt. Yeah.
Now these are all just a holistic way of her promoting her racism. And again, if it was a one isolated thing, yeah, sure. But these are multiple things. Keeps going, right?
You know what?
Brandon says like Brandon sounds like a cookie monster because he has cerebral palsy. This was intentional.
Yeah, that's awful.
This sick shit.
You know what?
Trolls.
You know what's the good thing though? People are actually leaving and they're not supporting her anymore.
Well, as far as too little, too late, too soon. But I mean, she. But
no, there is. She even admitted it. She said people are leaving. They think I'm racist.
She is racist.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, good. Finally. Finally.
But here's the thing. She's an overt troll. She's an outward. She is
the biggest. She's just as bad as KJ, right. And I'll never take that. You know what she said today on Julie Virgo's live? She said, "I would rather burn my channel down to the ground than ever fucking apologize to Mr. Black Wolf." Not even kidding. Go back and listen to it. That is a fucking racist bitch.
Who does that?
A racist bully bitch.
I mean,
that's who does that.
I mean, look, I will say this, and trolls are going to use it against me, but I don't care. I say what's on my mind. If I think there's somebody who's dishonestly using, the persecution card, I'm going to call that out.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
But here's the thing: if
she keeps doing it, that's what my problem is. If she would have said, "Oh, I didn't even mean like that, guys," like fuck off.
Right.
But she won't apologize. She keeps doing it. So no,
exactly.
You are being a racist, AZ. Fucking own it and apologize.
What's she steal from BX Boy? Own thy nasty.
Yeah,
that's the same thing. If I honestly believe that I have offended somebody over racial something, and I think to myself, that was stupid. I shouldn't have said that. I would be the first person to go, that was dumb. Or I shouldn't have said that. I really do apologize. If I really think that I screwed up and if I hurt their feelings, I really would. Absolutely. But if I think that they are playing, if I didn't do a damn thing wrong, they're reading something into things, just to get, persecution. Then I will absolutely tell them to fuck off because I don't play those games because I want my apologies to be sincere. I'm not Canadian. I don't have to apologize for everything.
Shut up. They're friggin' sincere. Oh yeah. She also said, she also never addressed calling Mr. Wolf those people. There's another racist thing.
Yeah, I use the term those people, but I mean trolls. That's not racist.
Too, right? Not towards black people.
Right. Oh God, no.
I had a beautiful, gorgeous woman named Tara in my live yesterday. She's always in my lives. Love her. She's awesome. She even said to me, as a black woman, there was another black woman in there. They're like, as a black woman, what AZ is doing is fucking racist.
Oh, yeah.
What she said to him is racist. The more she keeps talking about it and saying she's going to burn she'll burn her channel to the ground before she ever apologizes to Wolf. You're a racist.
Cano
black people are telling you this, AZ.
You heard Cano lose her shit on it.
Exactly. She is being racist and she needs to own it and apologize. And because she's not, that's why people are leaving. They're unsubbed from her. They don't want nothing to fucking do with her.
Well,
she lost Sue Elliott because of her bullshit.
How was Sue even a member over there anyway? Sue seems pretty rational.
Exactly. Well, she went and called Sue out on Twitter. Like, what the fuck, AZ?
Yeah, I saw the tweet and I was like, holy shit. And I was a Sue or Heather that I even said, look, don't apologize to AZ or anything like that because they're always going to take it and use it as a weapon. Apologize. Here's my rule of thumb. Apologize to people that are worth it and apologize to people that deserve it.
Yeah.
If they're not worth it and they don't deserve it, don't do it. Now, I can understand people you hate and you like, oh, God, I hate apologize. But even then, there are certain times if you really fucking get shit wrong, yes, apologize.
Yeah, you have to.
Say, hey, I'm sorry. I was wrong on that.
Yeah, like with KJ even, like I can't stand them, but if I'm wrong, I'm gonna apologize.
Right.
I'm gonna say I was wrong. Absolutely.
But let's say Katie Joy was black or something, and she started like pulling the race card. I'd tell her to fuck off because nobody's ever been racist to her or anything like that. That would So.
If I said something where she said, that term is racist, don't call me that's racist, I would apologize. I wouldn't use it again. I wouldn't go on and on and on and continue to use those words to fucking hurt people.
Exactly. Well, yeah, because you're not a sociopath, though. I mean, you got to put yourself in the mind of a sociopath, which is very difficult to do.
I can't. That's the thing. I don't know
how. Yeah. Just think just think, what would a shitty person do?
Yeah.
And that's what they do because they have no conscience. They don't care about how somebody feels about it.
No, they don't.
I mean, even like with my Jewish heritage, even at work, some people would, they know I'm Jewish because I've talked about it before, and they'll say something, they'll be like, oh, seriously, they'll be like, oh, that was not at all meant to be offensive. I'm like, first of all, I'm not offended. It was funny. But they're at least concerned enough to say, I hope that wasn't offensive. But I'm thinking to myself, no, of course not. But a person who goes out of the way, oh my God, I was so offended by that. I'm calling HR. No, I was like, no, that's pretty funny actually.
Yeah. Oh my God, listen to this. Atheist to racist. Man, I've been gone a while.
Right? Yeah, no. A lot happens around here, right?
Yeah.
A lot happens. Yeah, that's true. But Nikki, I gotta have you on more often because we have a good flow. We do.
Yeah, we do. We do, definitely.
I don't know if Erin started yet. I probably should send people over there.
I don't have anything saying she does.
Yeah, I haven't got anything either. But yeah.
You know what's up? I just got a text message saying Canada Revenue Agency sent you money. Data rates may apply. Yeah, right. What the fuck is that?
What? Yeah, those are all, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, hell no. The Firm Homes Interact e-transfer from the Canada Revenue Agency. Oh, bullshit. From the CRA?
Pass.
No thanks. I ain't touching that. Nope. It's from 199999999. Nah, I'm good.
Did you get one saying from the Nigerian prince? Did you get one yet?
Holy no.
I get a few of them that are just epic, and I'm like, yeah, okay. This the new ones that's around. Well, I guess it's not that new, but one that comes off often that I get more than anything is we've shipped your stuff, blah blah blah, through Amazon, blah blah blah. If you need to cancel the order, do it within the next 24 hours here, blah blah blah. And like, I didn't order anything. And so people go, what the hell are they talking about? I didn't order anything. I need to cancel. They give them all the credit card information and they get scammed. That's one of the big scams going around.
Oh my God. Now I'm a racist. I was racist to real. No, I wasn't.
Oh,
Never.
No. Well, first of all, here's the thing. I don't like Ren. I really don't. I don't like the guy. I think he actually is a grifter. I don't know how Erin can stand him, but she does, and I don't hold it against Erin. And here's the things that adults do. If somebody is associated with somebody you don't like, you just don't go in where they're talking to them. That's it. I've never told Erin, hey, you talking to Ren, I can't associate with you because I think Ren's a piece of shit. But it has nothing to do with race at all, ever. Nothing, never. I just don't like the guy. But I've never told, Erin or anybody else who they can't.
Oh my God, this is what this is about. It's because I like you. Oh my God, this is from Julie Virgo. LMAO, the hypocrisy. I've owned my mistakes, Nikki says. Bullshit, Nikki. Do you need a straw for being up Steve's ass? Okay.
Yeah, she's owned her mistakes. So the person who's kind of doing the dirty for AZ, thinking that I was a cult leader, a sex cult leader that literally got a hold of Frank Parlato Jr., the guy that broke the NXIVM sex scandal, people got a hold of him trying to convince him to investigate me as a sex cult leader, YouTuber, just a normal dude that has a normal job in loss prevention. that they investigated me for sex code, and AZ believes it.
Yeah, you have to have proof, and that's the thing that nobody does anymore. I won't say anything unless I have proof. I'll say, you know, I heard this. Like, I heard Katie Joy wears a diaper. I have pictures of her, and it looks like she's wearing a diaper. Do I have proof that's a diaper? No. Maybe she's got, I don't know, got maybe some really big saggy underwear. It does look like a diaper.
I've seen it. It's odd.
Yeah, it's very strange, but I can't prove it. That would be my whole proof. That's it.
Yeah, Aaron's gonna be Aaron's live here in a second, I guess. So yeah, no, my roommate's black, but I've also known her. She's family to me. She's literally like we treat each other like we're family. And I'll do anything for her. So yeah, it sounds super racist, right? In my sarcastic voice. Well, like I said, I do believe very strongly that what AZ has been doing has been very, very racist, and it seems to be the people that are the most qualified to call that out because they've experienced racism, are the ones calling her out on it.
You know what? Real was actually on the stream, and he pretty much said, you know, basically if black people are offended by what we're saying, you should kind of apologize and see where they're coming from. He was trying to tell that to AZ, and no one would let him talk.
Yeah, especially if, sometimes things can be taken out of context. I get that, and not deliberately, right? And that a deliberate taken out of context, you get no apology because the problem is on you, not me. But if you say something, you go, fuck, I can't see it interpreted that way. Absolutely apologize. I did not mean it that way. And that's what you should do. She's not doing that because she did mean it that way.
She did. And she's also saying, if you took away, that's on you, not me. Like, fuck.
Oh,
every time. No.
Yeah. All right, people. I guess I should probably end this and send anybody over to Erin because I want to listen to her as well because I didn't know what the hell happened. But, you know, I just say, and then I'll let you have absolutely the last word. AZ and Julie Virgo, they're trash. They're absolutely trash of the internet. They have absolutely no business, in my opinion, pontificating upon anything because all they want to do is cause harm and they get off on it. I do think they're professional trolls. I absolutely unequivocally believe this.
I do too.
This is why I don't address them. This is why I don't talk to them, and I won't. I have nothing to do with them. So, what do you want to leave us with? In fact, I got about your channel in the video description while you're talking. Go ahead.
Nothing. Just if you do something wrong, apologize. It's a lot easier to admit when you're wrong than keep going with a wrong just because you want to be right.
You're just agreeing with me because you want to be up my ass, supposedly, I guess, right?
Yeah, with a straw.
Yeah. That's called felching, I think. All right, so two things. I'm going to put your link in the video description. Not that everybody obviously probably has subscribed to you anyways, but this is for future reference. If anybody wants to go check out Nikki's channel, please do. Before you jump over to Aaron's real quick, I'm going to end this, but I want to just tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching this. We're going to see what happens with the Todd Chrisley case. But like I said, this really all does correlate to what I know. And I do think, I'm going to say right now, he is probably going to get a new trial. If he doesn't, then I'll say, hey, I fucked up. I'm not a lawyer. But I think from what I've read, he's going to get a new trial. Yep. Sound good? All right. Good night, guys.